All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to start the CCDR special council meeting, committee meeting. Give me a second. Right. So we're gonna start. As I can see that the rec commission is not in, or the recreation director is not here. So I'm assuming. Well, I'm not gonna say assume. I know that we're not gonna get that update.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Ms. Clear wrote to me today, and she said that she gave Ms. Chichester the update. So Ms. Chichester said that she would act as a liaison between council and administration. I can give what she wrote in her email, or I can allow Ms. Chichester to speak on it.
Yeah, well,
And then while I have your attention, please, I didn't get an agenda, which I know that you sent one,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
I don't know what placement you have the executive session.
Very last thing.
Okay.
Yes. But I can send you over. I apologize.
No, it's fine. I don't necessarily need it. I just didn't know where the
It's the very last thing we're gonna do.
Okay.
All right. So number one, the rec commission. I'm gonna hand it over to Ms. Chichester to see what updates we do have.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, everyone. The Juneteenth volunteers met last Tuesday, and the sponsorship letters went out today. There were a few we did not mail because we're having those conversations in person with those sponsors. And we divvied up the duties, and we said we're going to have the fireworks on Friday. And prior to the fireworks, we're hoping to host a resource community fair for our citizens. And so if there's a direct need of something you would like to see at our resource fair, I'm in talks with the 513 Relief and ODD. And there's one other I'm forgetting about. Forgive me. To have those people attend, those organizations attend the resource fair for the community. And that's about it right now from the volunteer aspect of the Juneteenth Festival. So I thought you had the main fireworks update.
So I do not have an update as far as the fireworks show. We haven't actually had a chance to meet, and I think we'll address that, sit down and come up with a time and date so that way we can get that out the way. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I forgot. There's one more note from Ms. Clear. The RC Pyrotechnics Fireworks Company has penciled us in, pending the status of sponsorships and funding. Then we'll decide what we're going to do from that point.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Ms. Chichester, did you have a update regarding, I think there were other things that she said, at least in the email that she sent me.
The email I have from her today at 5:18 says she apologized. She has a prior commitment this evening. There's not much of an update, just about the sponsor letters to the businesses and things we talked about in the meeting about the resource, the fireworks, main stage, performances, and the RC Pyrotech Fireworks Company.
Okay, I think I have some other things. Let me grab that.
Chair?
Yes.
Ms. Chichester?
Yes.
Do you have the details? You says fireworks on Friday. Is there a proposed time? Is it directly after?
Yeah, directly after the resource fair, and we're still working on times. We played around between 5 and 8, and fireworks possibly at 9 or 6 to 8. It really depends on the vendors and their time frame and how we can coordinate everyone together.
Okay.
All right. So You said the resource fair. What type of resource?
We were hoping to, it's all in the works still, nothing is die-hard set, but we're planning to use the middle school gym and just have different vendors come and provide resources for our community.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Gaskins.
so just to clarify a little bit more, I was able to participate in the first Juneteenth meeting and as a volunteer, and the hopes is to kind of get other people to come out and to learn how to budget, working with Chase and Fifth Third Bank
Yes.
and whatever other companies to kind of educate our community on how to build wealth and things like that, and having the kids join. And it was the hope that Friday with the fireworks, that would be like a really cool kickoff to like get Juneteenth started and everyone excited. And then the next day we'd start back there again and do the parade over and just have it like really festive.
Yeah.
So you okay? Do me a favor and repeat that one more time so I make sure I'm computing this correct.
Chase Bank, we're in talks with them to provide the financial literacy portion of the resource fair, but we're also working with, there's a few other institutions as well, but I don't want to speak on them until we get those contracts signed. It's going to be a kickoff like event with the fireworks before, just since we're bringing the community together with the fireworks, just to give them some type of resources and things of that nature.
So are you saying that we're going to do the Juneteenth activities and parade and stuff after the day after?
On Saturday, yes.
So, okay, so we'll make the fireworks the night
kickoff
before. And then the next day will be the parade and everything else.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
and we're working on sorry.
Go ahead.
Working on the outlining of the parade route. I think Chief Cheney, they're in talks with you about it, because Galbraith Road's gonna have some repairs.
I've not seen anything yet.
Okay,
So
On
that's
my way.
that's a different event. That's Memorial Day where Galbraith Road
Got
will
it.
be compromised. I think by Juneteenth it will be wrapped up, but
Okay.
we'll know more unless the project is delayed. I think Memorial Day is well, I know for
Definitely.
sure Memorial Day is the day where the route needs to change because we'll be work on Galbraith Road. I like to say I'm ecstatic. I actually wasn't sure about the 2 days, but the way that you guys have preferenced it, that is really good because it'll be a nice kickoff. The only question I did have is I remember meeting with Chanel from Chase,
Yeah.
and she said that I thought that they were wanting to do the financial literacy piece in the morning, and that was a hard thing. Okay, did she change it with you all? Perfect.
yes,
Okay.
she was at the last meeting.
Perfect. I
Yes.
wasn't there, so I was just double checking because I was in very early on, and then I've let you guys take it. So great. That's awesome. I mean, awesome.
Yeah, we're still working on a time frame to tie everyone in together.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I think we did come up with a plan A for the route and a plan B, just in case it spilled over for whatever reason.
It may, but at this point they're supposed to be scheduled to be finished, and then whenever you want me to add on the rest of stuff Ms. Clear talked about, I'm ready. I have my computer.
Okay, give me a second.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I have my events correct, because I heard you mention Memorial Day, and then I thought Ms. Chichester had said something like the parade was the day after Juneteenth, so I'm kind of getting.
So Friday, resource fair, fireworks, the whole start of the kickoff. Saturday, it's going to be the parade and the festival activities that we
After
normally.
Juneteenth.
On that
during
Saturday.
That Saturday of Juneteenth,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. I think that date is the 21st and the Friday is the 20th.
Okay, so no
Okay.
Memorial Day activity.
We're not nothing's planned at this time.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But they're working on it.
Okay. Okay, that's all I got.
All right. Ms. Dukestein.
Ms. Clear says that the party in the park and other items on the committee's special meeting agenda are, okay. Want to make sure some notes are for me. She says that the next Juneteenth committee meeting is before the CCDR committee meeting on April 14th. So she's saying that because of the CCDR committee meeting, which she means VIX committee, she's just using a abbreviation, is she's saying it's before the Juneteenth has an opportunity to meet again, so there won't be any updates on that if you're wanting to maybe push your meeting back or whatever, to kind of have more information or volume to talk about. And then she just gives some updates on the party in the park, but she's talking about just things that she's worked on. So that's all at this time.
All right, so we're gonna keep the number 3. Third thing on the agenda is the sports league. So when it comes to the sports league, North College Hill Sports League, like I said, again, we are doing that. I'm interested in any coaches, anyone that wants to volunteer and participate to help us structure our league. Please reach out to me at vwilson@northcollegehill.org. Any suggestions, any ideals as far as the different programs and sports activities that we can offer, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak as far as the sports league? Go ahead, you can speak, Mom. I'm sorry, what's your name? Could you introduce yourself for us? Step to the podium for me. Yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing?
My name Ryan Julius.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan. So I just had a tooth pulled. So
Yeah.
that's why.
Okay then.
But
Address? Isn't that protocol?
Yeah, name and address.
Name and address.
Name and address.
name.
Yeah, just your name and your address.
Oh.
It's all right, y'all.
My name is Ryan Julius. All right, and my address is 11504 Mill Road. All right, so I coach football. I'm the president of the Uptown Bengals right now. I'm coach basketball for different organizations all over the city. So I definitely think that that's a great thing for this community, like to have something, because there's a lot of kids that's displaced, like just from me coaching different organizations around this area and in the city. It's a lot of talking to a lot of parents. It's a lot of kids that's in the North College Hill district, but because there isn't sports for youth in North College Hill, they got to drive across town, because for their son or daughter to play football or to cheer or softball or stuff like that. So I definitely, when I heard about it, I definitely wanted to give my input on that, and I would definitely be willing to help with organizing, and moving forward with that.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
So I guess I'm kind of confused. So I'm assuming that the Uptown Bengals, that the parents pay for those kids to play, right? There's a fee, or is that free?
I mean, it's a fee. It's a registration fee.
So is it more than $50?
Like honestly, just being real, most parents don't even end up paying it. We ended up paying it, the coaches. But normally the registration fee would just be for uniforms. Like, it's not like we're getting anything. It's just whatever we may offer the children, we try to break that cost down between the organization, staff, and the parents.
Mr. President.
May I,
Sorry.
may I finish?
Yes, ma'am.
So I guess when I heard sports league by the city, my mind went to like a recreation league, kind of like we used to have. And it was like, when my son played in the North College Hill rec leagues, it was $25 to register. And I mean, that was it. And everyone's welcome. Like, there isn't any tryouts. You just, I mean, I wasn't on the rec commission, so I don't know how they divvied up names, but if 50 kids signed up, then you'd end up with 2 teams or 3 teams or however many they disperse throughout depending on the sport, obviously. So I guess I'm trying to understand what you mean when you say you want to put together a sports league. And then I'm hearing what sounds almost like an AAU kind of.
No, that was just my resume as far as the Uptown Bengals. I wouldn't be bringing.
Sorry.
That was
I
just I
brought
was
the
just
two
giving
together.
you my resume.
My bad. Sorry.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So, I did speak with Mr. Blaylock slightly, a little bit, briefly about this, I should say. And this is just food for thought. I cannot tell you what to do, but I know that there are 2 pathways. The rec league, like Ms. Zorb is speaking to, where all kids are accepted. There's a minimal fee. It basically just covers their ability to play, enter into tournaments, or however they exchange with games, whether that be basketball, softball, what have you. I will say to you, as council members, and you're thinking about what is ahead, there is a need for the school district to have a feeder program into the school district. So, for example, sports start at junior high and at North College Hill School. We don't have a feeder program into those sports. So we get a lot of kids who expat in, their parents move, use different addresses, and then sometimes our own kids are not competitive enough to really help our schools be competitive out there. So we are maybe start with the rec leagues and then kind of move towards select. In some spaces it's called select, some spaces it's AAU. AAU tends to be like basketball and track, and I think baseball may be included in that. However, select is like soccer, flag football, some of those other, I think football is more select. I'm not sure. You probably would have to help me with that. But it's a more competitive league, so that, and the reason why that may be something to consider is because if you have children who are leaving North College Hill, they follow those programs. And so I know that it's not our responsibility to focus so much on athletics, but providing good recreational support to our school helps to bring good students and families to our city. And so we want both support. There's that concept of student athlete where they're students first. You want to bring the concept of people will move to areas that they typically wouldn't consider for opportunities for their children. I see it in the space for my children all the time, and I'm not alone in that. Again, I'm just helping you to understand that perspective so that you can think about the type of programs that you want to see it develop into. I know that there are many other things outside of athletics. There are, the plays. Miss Clear talked about her children, or even just children who are more into the theater. We have a robust theater program at NCH. The musicals there are phenomenal. So this is about kind of observing what the need is for the school district to kind of do one and both, help service the school district in a way and to help create a community base for the city. I'm not advocating for any one particular thing. I just want to put those thoughts out there so that you could differentiate between the rec league and kind of like an AAU program that Ms. Zorb was mentioning.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I agree. Like I had the same feel of a recreation league too. Also, I don't know what the other option would be. Like it is kind of a recreation league because it's not a school league. So anything other, to my knowledge, as long as I've been an athlete and as long as I've been coaching, anything other than school ball is rec league. That's what rec league is. Or unless it's a specific AAU program, which typically is basketball and track. Select is typically soccer, baseball, softball, stuff like that. And those are the highly competitive teams. Other than that, everything else is recreation. And I've tried the feeder way, and I got zero support from North College Hill. That's what the Uptown Bengals was. That's what, and it forced me to dissolve my program because I got zero support from the school or anything. And when I used to meet with the lady, what's her name? Annalise, and whatever her
Miss
name.
Clear.
Yeah, it was she really didn't want it there. So it was like, oh yeah, I'll take your money, but we ain't finna try to make this a part of the community. So that's when I heard the league more for all sports, feeling like, because all kids might not play football. Some kids might play tennis. Some kids might play soccer or softball, and it ain't just about one specific sport. It's about getting these kids back active. That's what it's about. Getting the kids back active, getting them off of these electronic devices, occupying themselves, making this man's job more difficult, because that's ultimately what happens. I'm out here with them. Y'all might be their parents and they act a certain way around y'all, but I see the real them when y'all not around. And it's YouTube driven and electric device driven. We got to get these kids more active, and we got to give them programs to do it. It's no programs. When I was growing up in Cincinnati, it was baseball diamonds and basketball courts everywhere. Now it's not. So what else are the kids going to do?
Mr. Chair.
I'm sorry. I just have one question, Mr. President.
Go ahead, Mr. Tychester.
So you mentioned the cost would be around $50.
No, that's just what the number we came up with. It can be as cheap as, if somebody say, we'll donate you uniforms, then guess what? It's no cost.
From a parent having multiple children, is there an opportunity for the parents to do fundraisers to offset that cost?
Absolutely.
That's all I need.
Absolutely.
That's all.
That's really how I wanted to build my organization, because it takes a village. So when it's mom and dad and auntie and the family volunteering, that brings out the best in the child. When the local authorities' face is present, that's rebuilding that bridge with the community and the young, the youngsters. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, police officers were superheroes to us because they was present. Now they can come across a little scary, even down to the vehicles. They look like Transformers. We got to think from the kid's standpoint. They don't think like adults. They don't think like us.
Right.
Police officers, they used to look like my dad. Nowadays, they muscular and look like come on, we got to help them. And, it ain't just always about study hall and learning after school programs, because that's where we lose a lot of these kids, because they just need to get out and get active. That's what they need.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Ms. Gaskins.
So you had mentioned that you needed support, and that's where your program kind of dissolved a little bit. What support are you looking for, and from whom?
Well, the support that I was just looking for, like, community, just awareness. I spent countless hours passing out flyers, having free events. Some of y'all might have used to see my organization on the corners selling hot dogs, selling waters, all of that, you know, just to show the kids something different. Like, so once you see that, how we continue that to grow is we have to fuel it. We have to fuel it. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna make little Johnny's neighbor wanna come with him. That's what's gonna make your child's cousin wanna come with them. We gotta fuel that, like, and that's where the disconnect is. Like, the parent will drop them off, and I got 2 hours to go bust my move, and that's it.
So will this time be different?
So,
How can we kind of build that support so that
So I think the
Gaston.
staging before, like, these conversations with the right people in the beginning is head over heels the difference, instead of learning on the way.
that makes sense?
so Mr. President, Ms. Gaston.
So hold on. So everybody can understand this. This will be North College Hills League. This league, the sports league, will be North College Hills. And, you know, the direction of this sports league will be for the individuals that work and volunteer for North College Hill. So a lot of this is going to be structured around North College Hill. We're not going to sidetrack anything. We're going to follow all the rules and regulations, but put us in the position to where North College Hill offers sports league, not only for our youth, but also we have adults. And we have seniors who still move and is active, who still get out and want to play. No one wants to be stuck in the house. We all want to get out. We all want to do something more. So, like I said, this is the direction of this league will be the direction that North College Hill send it in. So, you know, like I said, we need volunteers. We need folks that want to step up, come up, you know, participate with us, so that way we can structure this lead. This lead is structured in the direction that helps us.
Mr. President.
Yes.
So, kind of just piggyback off Ms. Gaston's question, I wanted to see if I can, like, specify and ask it in a more direct way. What support do you need directly from the city, from a funding aspect, volunteer aspect? What do we need to be?
So you guys, he's not asking.
No, well, I'm asking.
Yeah, what?
I'm asking
Everyone.
everyone,
This is
just in
this
general,
is-
not really.
So this is pretty much for us,
Right,
You know,
so-
as a committee, to have this discussion, as far as, you know, the support and stuff that we would need. Mr. Whitty being here and the information that he has tonight, it's just to give us insight on what it would take and for us to structure our league that will benefit the citizens of North College Hill. And so, and if I'm correct, you did also say you were more than willing to help us structure that.
So
Okay.
I understand what they asking. So the support
That's exactly what I'm saying.
that would be needed would just the platform, first and foremost, the platform of the city is huge, because that's a big voice. That voice is bigger than any of us individually. So I feel like the platform, in conjunction with the number one thing that everyone is going to think about all the time, is just when you think of North College Hill, is just the togetherness in the family community. So if everyone is like, everyone's involved. Everyone, you know, you might have a North College Hill Police Department team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's in, you know,
Yep.
stuff like that. Just the
Enforcement.
involvement, That's huge. And then, you know, I guess once everything else further, figure out whatever you guys' overhead would be, then that's where, you know, but fundraising and just people that's wanting to be a part of it, that's huge within itself.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
And I'd like to add that we're not isolated in this quest to build a community league. Plenty of other cities have this, like Fairfield is one of them. Green Hills is another. Forest Park is another. And it does rally the sense of community. So I guess from that standpoint, that's the reason, because I mean, you may be asking yourself, why would the city get involved in something like that? It's the quest to build community. And this is a way to incorporate people of all ages, both genders, families, however the family dynamic is, single moms,
Right.
2 moms, 2 dads, however that
President.
family looks.
I made my org participate in the North College Hill Cleanup Day. Like when that popped up, if you are a member of the Uptown Bengals and you ain't at work at this time, I need you present, because we gon' whatever North College Hill got going on. And it's just like bringing togetherness, and ultimately, I think you said earlier, that's how the community grow. That makes people want to move to your community.
Right. Mr. President,
Yes.
I don't think the issue is trying to sell us on it. I think the issue is we're trying to understand what's our next step, what's our next move to move forward. So I am in support of it. So I just need to know, what do we need to do and how much from a funding aspect is it going to cost the city? That's all I need to know. What do we need to do to get this moving to the next step, to get it to come to, you know?
Well, I mean, let's do this real quick. I mean, you know, I've heard your perspective on it, and how do you feel about it? Ms. Zorb, how do you feel about it? Would you like to move forward with this idea with the sports league for North College Hill?
So to answer your, my initial answer is yes. It's always good to have recreation for the kids.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I see some roadblocks though. And even talking about foundationally, it's in the charter that we have a recreation director. So I believe foundationally, I believe the city has always wanted this. It's just we didn't have the input. The kids stopped wanting to play, so the old leagues went away, and consequently, the city doesn't have baseball fields. The city doesn't have basketball courts. The city doesn't have tennis courts. So I guess unless we have something in combination with the school who does have those facilities, then we're kind of dead in the water. So that's kind of where I'm.
I don't want to cut you off, but that situation has been discussed. So Mr. Blaylock is in favor of us using.
So I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, Mr. Blaylock is in favor of us using his facilities and whatnot. But we also do. North College Hill did have baseball diamond. They covered it up. I'm just letting you know. I've done some researches, and North College Hill did have a baseball diamond. It got covered up. They had some other things that got removed. And
the school is where we had.
No, they
we had fields where the school is.
Well,
now. We
them
had a pool where
fields.
the school is
I'm
now.
just saying, them fields and stuff are still there. But there was another baseball diamond that field is not covered up right now. I could tell you that it's not covered up. It's got something on it, but it's not covered up. But hold on. So like I said, I don't want to get off topic. So you are in agreement of moving forward with the league?
I mean, it's pretty nebulous right now, but the idea of it, I like the idea of it.
Okay. Ms. Gaskins?
I just want to know how we're going to accomplish it. We talked about it a lot. We've been talking about it since at least August. And I just want to know what is the plan so that we can move forward. What is it going to look like? How is this going to impact the city? So on and so forth. The biggest roadblock, I believe you mentioned, Mr. Blaylock was like, yes, you can use our fields, so I guess that'll be up to the coaches to schedule all that stuff. But when do we get started? Because football season, I mean, my son's about to start baseball now, or t-ball, because he's little. If I wanted to enroll, Kaylin, is that this year or is that next year? Raya is a cheerleader. My nephew, Devon, he wants to play football. So when is this stuff going to start?
Mr. President,
Go ahead.
Chief Cheney brought up an interesting concept, which I didn't know this to be true about baseball, but I do know it to be true about other sports. So we were, and I don't want to stop your round robin of like buy-in, because I think what I heard the overall consensus was that people do support, but there are some challenges. And so what he said was that, the platform of support is going to be one of the primary next steps forward. And then after that, the thing that Chief Cheney was bringing to my attention is like some of those leagues, you have to have complete a full team to offer the league in order to get the support. So regardless of whether each individual council member is bought in, regardless of whether we actually have a baseball field or whatnot, what are the next steps to getting the buy-in from the students to participate? Because as Ms. Zorb said, there was lost interest with the children to participate. So then the teams kind of dissipated and the organizations pulled back. So how do you get engagement with the families again? And I apologize if I'm taking you out of the center of what you're saying, but I think to ask individual council members if they're bought in, I can't think of any person that would say no. But I think getting over that crossroads and getting to how do you facilitate the vision is where we could spend our time.
So I would think the next step would be, it would piggyback off of everything that you already got going on. So you got Juneteenth going on, which is a great platform to promote flyers, different awareness things, whether it's little Nerf baseballs that say North College Hill Sports League or whatever the name of it be called, or just different items, stuff like that, just the promotion of it that's gonna draw the people out first. Because the Juneteenth parade, my Uptown Bengals was in the Juneteenth parade, and as we walked around the whole parade trail, it was so many families that was just like, I didn't even know you guys were here. Like, and we practiced right on Clydesdale. It was like, I didn't even know it was a football team out here. And I'm just like, so just that. So when you got something Juneteenth going on, you might do a hot dogs and like just little different events to bring the kids out. Like, and they come out, hot dogs, ice cream, they come out. And like you said, all it is a handful to start. So then you would think about what would the next sport be. It might be a little ambitious to think football because that's the next big season. So you might want to think of a sport that may be a fall sport or the winter sport that gives more time for planning so that it can be proper. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It can be the first thing, if the league is for all ages, the first thing may not even be for kids. It might be a senior basketball league for 50 and up or 60 and up. You know what I'm saying? It might be something like that, the feel of the community, Like, we gotta listen to what the community is saying, what the community is hungry for.
Mr. Sorry. Mr. President,
Yes, go ahead.
I think your biggest go-to to get the youth involved would be the school. School's about to be out for the summer. April, they get out in May, I think, or June. Sorry, it's been a while since I had the little ones. But connecting with the school, connecting with those parents, hosting a meeting, flyers, getting the businesses to sponsor the leagues as well, the youth. So making those connections right now would really benefit.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Okay. Well, first of all, give me a second.
I think Ms. Gastons was next.
No. Hold on. We're gonna stay with this. Ms. Gaskins, did you have anything else to say?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Tychester, did you have anything else to say?
Just, we probably need to, like Ms. Gastons and Ms. Dukestein said, we need to outline what our next steps are, to ask for the funding from the city. Those are the biggest things, because I'm assuming these leagues have application deadlines and fees and things before you can even start registering people up for the leagues. So we need to get those things together so we know what we're looking at financially from that aspect of it. And then, or like I said, even connecting with those parents to see what sports they're interested in.
Yeah, it can be something as simple as a survey.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
There we go. So I've been connecting with our residents, going like door to door, talking to them as they're sitting outside to ask about the resources they would like to see for the resource fair. But I think doing something like that to connect with the parents as they're in the park to see what they want, to get the idea from the community. Some parents might be involved in baseball or soccer or even chess or whatever, to figure out what the kids are. Like he said, there's a lot of children right now that are just interested in video games that have never played baseball before. I had a kid ask me the other day, last week, what's opening day? What's the parade for? Our Cincinnati Reds baseball team. We're a baseball town. Our city has been a baseball town for decades, and that's a shame. Like he said, baseball diamonds, basketball courts, they came standard on the playground. Kids played. We need to get our kids back into that to negate any of these health issues they are all starting to have. That's just my 2 cents, but go ahead.
Mashallah.
Of course, I'm all in for it. Foundationally, we're going to have people to run it and staff it. If you don't have anybody to run it, that's the first thing you're going to have to do before you even start soliciting, I think, kids, and that's going to take the community, to help with their different experiences, because we don't know. We might have some baseball, softball legends here in North College Hill, and they, people love lending their expertise. And, they may not, have a lot of time, but we appreciate all of the time that they can do it. Ex-cheerleaders, can come and volunteer. So we're going to have that foundation as far as like next steps. We're going to have people to help. And then, just like Ms. Chichester and the rest of the council, the schools, I think going to the elementary schools where there aren't any sports that are offered to them, have them, we already have Mr. Blaylock's buy-in. Maybe they can do announcements. We can leave flyers there. I know school is about to be out, but they have summer programs at North College Hill where there's still students there. My daughter, she goes there for a month, and then she goes to Breakthrough, for another month. So there's still children around. And the idea, like you said, hot dogs and the Juneteenth celebration, kids love, going to get the flyers and bringing it back. Because I know when my children were young and they had the Memorial Day parade, we would see the different football teams and the cheerleaders and stuff like that. And my kids would be like, even if I wasn't interested, they're like, hey, Mom, what are they doing? Can we get a flyer? So we have, and the more upcoming events we have, the more opportunities we have to reach those children and those adults. But we have to get volunteers. If it's falling on deaf ears, with no volunteers to help or people to help, it's not going to sustain, and the children are still going to be, on those video games because there's nothing else. So, yeah, that's all.
Mr. Davis?
Okay. Coach, fly me in. So, how much do you think everything costs to run a team on a year-to-year basis and an organization on a year-to-year basis in terms of price and in terms of people? And I plan on asking you the same question for basketball.
Okay. So as far as football, it really depends on your taste. Like coming in, I started out an old school football coach, like forget the pretty stuff. We just going straight to the point. You getting pants, jersey, helmet. In my opinion, not expensive at all. I was getting 2 jerseys and a pair of pants for $48 per child. So it took about $48 to dress a child. As far as equipment, it just depends where you get it from, if you get it new, used. But that's where, as a nonprofit or a lot of these independent organizations, they go for trying to get grants and sponsors to sponsor money, and then that's how they offer the equipment. So I say to run an organization per season, I had about 90 kids, around $7-8 grand.
You saying so 7 or 8,000 for a team, and how much you think that will be for a league?
And that league, say, depending on how many teams you got in the league, say you start off with 10 teams. And then, so that'll be more teams if you're going through the same vendor. So say roughly around, I say probably like $5 grand per team times 10 teams. Yeah. And that's just the startup. But you wouldn't have to do that every year.
Right.
It's just the startup, because once you start it up, the organization is going to self-sustain. Like you ain't got to buy uniforms again. You just got to keep the concessions going and whatever extra stuff that you want to offer your people.
So, and then also now in terms of your people. I know you need coaches, assistant coaches, a team mom, a scoreboard operator, likely somebody to put chalk down on the field. How many people? And this is one of those where I understand you could tell me you've done what you've done the minimum. I want us to be better than that.
All right.
So tell us how many people we need to be better.
So if you got an organization, one organization with say 100 kids, and that 100 kids covers K through 6, because we got the youngest you can be is 4, so we got 4, 5, and 6-year-olds, 7 and 8-year-olds, 9 and 10-year-olds, 11 and 12-year-olds. So those are the individual teams.
Right.
I have a cap, 20 kids per team, right, because you only gonna have maybe 4 coaches. Anything more than that, the kid ain't getting the attention that they deserve. So right, a 20 kid maximum per team. And all the kids, that mean all the kids can play. You ain't
everybody
got
plays.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got these teams, they got 40, 50 kids, and you bringing your son to practice every day, but he don't never get to play in the games. So that eliminates that. So yeah, I say 5 coaches per coaching staff plus a team mom. So 6 per team, 6 adults per team. That'll do it.
So.
Mr. President? I'm sorry, was Mr. Davis done?
No,
Nah,
he
go ahead,
wasn't.
go
No.
No, go ahead.
No,
That was
no,
nice.
hold on. But go ahead, Mr. Davis. I'll need you
Nah,
to finish first.
We having a discussion.
I
sir.
know, but I still need you to finish first, sir.
Yeah, go ahead and finish your thought.
Yeah.
You done?
Sure.
All right, Mr. Chester.
Who's covering the insurance for the leagues? Is that the city's responsibility?
So
Good question.
with my organization, I covered the insurance being the founder and the president. But for the league that I was in, I only had to have, for my organization, I had to have a $1 million policy. But it still was, it's less than Netflix a month.
Okay. And you, as the organization
So
of
now
the,
for a league, you know, it might be, of course, the insurance policy might be $10 million policy, but it still ain't gonna be expensive. It still might be like maybe $200 a month.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Miss Dustin.
So I know that one of the ways that I was able to get involved in an organization similar to what we're trying to accomplish here is there was a summer camp for like tennis. And then I enrolled my kids in the summer camp, and it was a bunch of like potential coaches, maybe 1 or 2 for each one. They solicited the adults. And then I paid a fee for like a 2-week summer camp. And then some of those kids were like, hey, if we put together a league, would you like to do X, Y, and Z? It kind of gives a kid a taste of the sport. I do know that there was insurance involved. And so maybe we can look at some prospective sports for like the future, you know, to have enough time for planning and then do some summer camps. People love to drop their kids off.
That's an amazing idea.
It's
right there.
and that's how my daughter started playing tennis. We went to a camp ever at the country club in Sharonville, and then we were invited to play on a team, and then it went from there. So, and I was going to share with you all that Miss Stewart, the dance person in NCH, her dance studios are here. She gains a lot of foot traffic when she does the parades of parents who are interested. Now, you know, I don't know how her retention program looks, but, you know, I know that that's, you know, a buy-in when they can see jazz dancers and ballet dancers and things of that, you know, variety to kind of pull in people, because we have to do some things to kind of build it up. So those are some ideas to kind of get started. And then it's less commitment, and then you kind of you can move from one thing to another. And the last and final thing is maybe start with some things that we already have. I forwarded to council the home games for the senior chair volleyball. They literally have a league and they have home games. And so, you know, maybe we just start with leveraging things that we already have and build down. So.
yeah. I think you had a question down here. I heard one of you
I'm
guys.
sorry, I didn't hear any one of you guys.
Me.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Zort.
So it sounds like a lot of what we're hashing out here is exactly what the Recreation Commission does, but they're not here tonight. Do they have buy-in to this? Because I mean that's really their role.
So from my knowledge, I don't think the commission was completely together the last time we had the meeting where some of the commission members did come in. I believe that there are some new members there.
Yeah, Mr.
There were
President.
3 the last time they were here, and
Mr. President.
Yes,
Sorry,
go
you
ahead.
guys. Ms. Dorp, I was going to answer that for you. So, yes, there's a Recreation Commission. Yes, there are new members. I know one of the members I've been in communication with is Ms. Stewart. And yes, she's aware of all of this. She couldn't be here tonight. She had another prior commitment too as well, and couldn't come on Mondays because she has other obligation on a Monday. But we're working to get them all together to have a meeting about this. So,
So that is everyone done? Is everyone done? Anyone got anything else to say? Okay.
thank you.
Anything else from the audience? Anyone else from the audience? Going once, going twice.
I just
Okay.
like to thank him for his time and thank you for putting up with all our
Thank you.
questions.
Thank you, Mr. Whitty. Appreciate it. All right. So I would like to say that's going to be my next move. Will be to pass this over. Well, I'm not going to say pass it over, but to actually get the commission and recreation director involved. I mean, it has to. I mean, it's just a recreation thing, and that's pretty much where our next step is to get them guys all on the same page as far as what our conversations is about and what we would like to see here as far as North College Hills recreation. So with that being said, I'm gonna move on down my agenda. That would be number 4, the Party in the Park updates. Movie in the Park from Ms. Gaskins. Did you have any updates?
No, I did not. I did speak with Ms. Clear, and she had some things that she wanted to get moving on before we move forward with that. I think Ms. Dukestein also had mentioned previously that we already have the licensing to show certain movies. So the next step would be just to put the dates on the calendar and move forward.
Do you have an idea when you guys will be able to meet and set the next steps?
You know what? I will reach out to Ms. Clear tonight, and then I will get back to you with that.
Okay,
answer.
thank you. Appreciate that. So the next one will be the fireworks. That will be Ms. Tychester.
We did that at the beginning, sir.
Oh, yeah, we sure did, didn't we?
Yes.
I'm going to put you back under the microscope for about 4 more seconds. Okay, and so we'll move on. Number 6, the other events with Ms. Zorban, and I apologize. That's me for half explaining it to my chair, my co-chair. But just pretty much the update, I just wanted to know, were you able to find anything about as far as musical entertainment for the Party in the Park? Like, remember, you ain't getting no information, like nobody gave you any suggestions of who they would like to see or any local bands? Do we have any local bands that we would like to put on?
I wasn't aware that I was supposed to do any of that. I was waiting for you. I thought you were going to call me and we were going to talk about it, and I never got a phone call. So
Okay, all right.
I've,
So we
I've
can-
done nothing
Nothing,
because
all
I
right.
didn't know I was supposed to do anything.
So we can table that conversation,
All right.
and then I'll reach out to you. That way we can get that going so that we can figure it out, because we definitely need some type of entertainment. I don't want people sitting there looking at each other. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna pass the table to the mic to my co-chair.
I move that we go into executive session. Hold on, let me get that. Oh, section 121, .22 G1, to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual, unless the public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual requests a public hearing. I don't have to read all the rest of that, do I? Okay, that's it.
All right. We'll move to executive session. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So our next item on there is any old business. Is there any old business? Okay, without there being anything said, is there any new business?
Mr. Chair,
And yes, go ahead, Ms. Gaskins.
I didn't get the opportunity to ask earlier, but are there, with the things that we talked about, so like party in the park, things like that, were there any updates from you or anything that you wanted to share with the committee?
Well, I actually didn't get any new updates as far as all the individuals that's working on the different projects. Everything that was shared here today is exactly what I have right now.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes, go ahead. Was that Ms. Tychester?
as far as new business, I just wanted to put it out there to the residents. For the resource fair, if there's a resource you would like to see come to North College Hill for the June 20th fair that we're planning, reach out to me, lchichester@northcollegehill.org, and I will reach out to that organization to see if we can get them to come to our community.
Is that all?
Yep.
All right. Is there anything else? Anything else in new business? Okay, with that being said, nothing else, I would like to adjourn this meeting at 7:36 p.m.